So, I have spent the weekend playing with the Arc B580, and I have some thoughts. So this particular video is not my review. This is really more a quick, should you buy an Arc B580? So I'm kind of torn on this particular video card. The performance was quite impressive. I wouldn't, when I put up a review, and even if you watch any of just the game demo videos I did with it, you'll see I'm impressed. Especially, I mean, if NVIDIA put out a product this performance, or AMD did in this price range, I'd be impressed about them too. But the fact that Intel was able to go from 0 to this in what, a generation? I mean, I don't even know. When did they start working on these? I mean, I don't know how long they've been working on their dedicated. I know this is their second generation, but as far as I'm concerned, this thing's still kind of a first generation product. I mean, Intel's really just getting into the market. So this is pretty damn impressive. I won't lie. Now, should you buy one though? So I bought this thing. I'll be honest. I paid with my own money. I did pay a little bit over MSRP. I paid $300 cash for it. Once you factor in tax and everything, I think that's about $20, $25 over sticker for street price. I wouldn't, I don't know, $20. The thing is, if you're buying a card like this as, like, not just out of curiosity like me, like you really need to get your money's worth, I mean, $20 is $20. I don't know. I wouldn't pay more than $250 for it. I'm sure you've seen that in other places. Don't buy a scalped one for $350 or $400. I did buy the Intel one here. I originally was looking for a potentially the Sparkle one. But honestly, this is a little bit smaller and more compact. And if I ever actually use this thing for something other than just jacking around with it, I wanted the smaller card. So my problem with the B580 is that it's not very, shall we say, versatile. Okay, I tested it primarily in Intel's recommended use case, which was on a 13900K. Now, I will say a 13900K board, chip, and RAM is not necessarily the $1,000 to $1,200 investment that it was maybe a year ago. I don't know. I don't remember how long. I think the 13900K was like a year and a half ago or something. But so you can now get either a used or dirt cheap board, dirt cheap DDR5, and if you shop around for a deal, especially if you go used on a 13900K, I think you could do a board, chip, and RAM combo for, I don't know, $400. I think I've seen them. And then this is $250. So you could have a 13900, like the 13900K doesn't necessarily have to be the insane high end that it was in the past. Same with like 12900K, 7800X3D, 5800X3D. These are all setups that you could do with this card for probably under $1,000 if you got creative. So I don't know if it's fair to say that, oh, well, since I couldn't run it on something really old. I did attempt to test on a 4th gen, because there is a lot of good, I know a lot of you think, oh, 4th gen, that's 10 years old, but there's a lot of good, 4790K is a good chip. I'm going to be doing some stuff here soon with it. It's a good chip. I wanted to run this on it, even without resizable bar, just to see, because those are systems you're normally going to pair like a 1070, 1080, maybe even like a 2060, 2070, 2080 with. I could not get it to boot. It kept blue screening. Now, I don't know if substantial additional troubleshooting would have addressed it, but it certainly wasn't going to be a simple pop it in and use it type thing. So that didn't work. So the next thing I tried it on was my my 9820X, my X299 build, which you can kind of see right there. It actually worked far better than I expected. It turned out that a new BIOS I had upgraded to a couple months ago had the resizable bar feature, and it actually worked. Intel said it wouldn't. Intel said that it would see a massive performance hit. I saw, at least on Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk isn't every game, but on the X299 plus the Arc, I saw within margin of error performance on Cyberpunk compared to the 13900K. And I was seeing full CPU usage, full GPU usage, so it was pretty good. So if the thing where I'm torn on this is I'm a big pre-owned market guy. Okay, now I get it that some people aren't comfortable with pre-owned. I get it, but get comfortable with pre-owned, okay? I have, so this was $300, okay? Now I have both friend deal and non-friend deal, straight up open market purchased 3070s and 4070s that I paid less for than this card. So that's a really tough sell for me because I have not got, so the fear factor when it comes, so I'm trying to see how long my video is on my phone here. So the fear factor that comes from the idea of buying used, I'm not seeing it. It's been a long time. I don't think I've ever gotten screwed on a GPU. If you do some basic due diligence, I don't always test them, but I feel the sellers out. I know how to shop. A basic amount of common sense, more or less, generally keeps me out of trouble. And it's just, now, if it was a crapshoot, if buying a used car was just a total crapshoot, like whenever I buy one, it's, oh, you know, 50-50, I might lose money, I might not, that would be different, but that has not been my experience. 3070s are readily available for less than this GPU. Gotta kill my, got a friend texting me here. Put it on Do Not Disturb. So my problem is how good of a card that you can get. I mean, I've got 3080s that I think the cheapest 3080, I think the cheapest 3080 I ever bought was around, I think I paid $275 for it. And that was a couple years ago, actually. I still have that card, actually. It came out of there. I get some of these cards so cheap, I just hold on to them now. And then I've also got friend deals, like I said, but the thing is, my friend deals are from people that I acquaintance off the open market, so anyone could have gotten those same deals. They just didn't. So that's my biggest thing. And with the B580 being limited to, I haven't tested, well, no, I did. I do have a 7th gen board, and it appears that there was never going to be any. I did some research. I saw a few people that basically lied that they got it working, but it looks like, from what I can tell, functional resizable bar, which Intel requires to properly work with the card, is probably 8th gen and newer. With my X299 making it work, my guess is you can probably find a board like a Z370 or Z390 that'll run it. I can say it definitely worked with my X299. I can't speak. I have an Asus X299 Sage version 1. They had a second version with 10 gig. I'm guessing that supports it too, but I have the standard version, and it works. And it works great. Performance is great. So realistically, I'm going to say this isn't going to be an option to try to drop into your old 4th, 6th, 7th, your 6700K, whatever. This isn't going to be an option for that. This is only going to be an option for, realistically, 9th gen is on the outside, 10th gen, and there's a lot of people out there that are running older than that. Now, if it were me, granted you're sitting with me in front of you having bought this card, I bought this card coming from a place where I have the money to buy whatever I want. I didn't need to get my value's worth. If I did, and it were me, I would buy a used 3070. I've been watching eBay. I have been seeing them readily going in the low 200s. Every couple of days, I see one go for like 225 plus 15 shipping or something like that. If it were me. Now, if you're paranoid and you just cannot suck it up to buy a used card, I think it's a good card. I have every game I threw at it, it delivered performance that I was happy with. I did a bunch of them. I did some old stuff. I did some new stuff. I think originally these had some issues with drivers with older games. I did Crisis 1. I did Battlefield 1. I mean, those are two big name games. Granted, it's not every game, and I did, I think, 7 or 8 games total. I did not encounter one I was not happy with. I was actually particularly impressed with Crisis, considering the age of the game compared with the age of this architecture. But, so, I can't recommend it if you're comfortable buying used. I would argue it's probably as good as a 3060, 4060, something like that. My only reservation is the lack of flexibility. The fact that you can't just put this in whatever you want. You got an old 7700K where it runs great. You want to put a newer card in it. This cannot be that card, unfortunately. And I think that that's unfortunate because I feel like that's the real market that I don't see. Getting back to what I said before, I guess if you're creative and you get a good deal on a 13900K, but I don't see somebody buying this and pairing it with generally top tier parts. That's really, so I guess my opinion's rather complicated. This is a good card. I think they need to do some work, maybe find a way to make it work without the resizable bar. It sounds like it's baked into the architecture, so probably not going to happen, but if this didn't have that requirement, I would recommend this card hands down, with the exception of if you're willing to go used. So buy it if you got to buy a new card. If you need a new card, $250, you've got a modern system, maybe a modern i3, modern Ryzen 5. This is a great option for you. Anyway, sorry my explanation is complicated, but there's more to my opinion on this card than just it's a good card, buy it, or it's a bad card, don't buy it. Neither of those is the truth. So anyway, I hope you guys found this interesting, and I hope I didn't ramble too much, and thanks for watching the video.